Hello, heroes! Welcome to the Roll4It monthly newsletter for November 2017. I think we've been kind of discussing, we're like, should we call them shippers? Because I think it's sailors? I don't know. We're debating. You guys let us know.
Shippers
I'm just
work.
kidding. We're going on the shipping train.
Heroic
Yeah,
sailors.
we've renamed the tavern to the harbor. It's all happening.
And to be
I think
fair,
it's
there's
kinda
a
cute.
lot of salt in the sea, so I'm just saying it works.
Well, I think we've figured out that like our main
I mean, export is.
our main
yeah.
export is salt. We were reading. Okay, anyways, we'll go on. We'll go through all the things. Just so you guys know what this newsletter is about. This is a monthly newsletter for you to thank you for all of the amazing things that you guys are doing to help support the show. This kind of provides you guys with like a behind the scenes of what's going on and where our thoughts are and how we're doing as like, I guess, a company in that sense. And so that you guys can see where your benefits and support is going, because you guys have been amazing and you're the reason why we're able to do what we've been doing and pay the peoples that we have on our cast. So let's start things off. We're going to talk about our shows this month. Then we'll go over our Patreon, then our Twitch, our YouTube, and our social, and then we'll wrap things up for the month of November. So let's start out with the shows this month. Why don't you guys talk a little bit about Divinity Original Sins? This is a new show that we've launched. We gave you guys a teaser last month before we started. We didn't even have the cast lockdown completely yet. At that point, we're still waiting for solid, good.
I think we were like literally locking it
shows.
down as we were like making the video, like right before and right after.
Yeah, and before I throw it over to these guys to talk about Divinity, thank you so much to No Late for sponsoring our special episode for episode 2. So thank you so much for that. That goes to our legendary tiers. They get to sponsor a show. So thank you. You basically almost paid for the whole show. So love you. Thank you so much. But yeah, you guys go ahead. EE, you want to start us off because that's kind of been your baby.
Okay, so yeah, we did. We started off so far. Time of recording this, we've done like what, three out of the 5 predicted episodes it would take to do Divinity Original Sin. Did this campaign, made it a while back for they released the game, and they were like, you know, EE, do you wanna make a campaign for it? And I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll make a campaign for it. And I might spend a long time with that campaign because, you know, it's a lot of work making a campaign. And then things have been going okay so far. I mean, I will say it has been surprising how strong the team have been doing on having to re-level every enemy they face because, you know, they're actually crashing. So that's been a little bit of fun. I mean, how has it been being a player?
And
Been all right.
1 second
We've
though.
been doing a little bit.
If you've never heard EE talk before, that's how
Oh,
his
yeah.
actual natural voice
That's
is.
Oh
my
yeah,
natural
yeah.
voice, yeah. I
It's
have
all
to-
put on.
It takes
Like,
a lot of effort to
whole
do this
thing's an
voice
act.
normally. Like, I have to really concentrate. If you ever hear me drunk, it's just, you know, me just going, all right, mate, how you doing?
So like you can't use that sort of voice if you're a YouTuber really, because no
Yeah,
one
it
can
doesn't,
hear
it
what you're
doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. You know, us Americans don't understand what you're saying.
I'm dying. It's so great. All right, Bendham, tell us how it's been on the player side, other than like really warm because of all the fires.
Yeah, a lot of fire. We've dealt with that now, though. We've got the rain spells going, so it's a little bit better. But yeah, it's been really fun playing. Like, because I haven't played Divinity apart from like an hour before we did it just to test things out. I died. I walked into death fog. It was pretty stupid, and yeah, like I liked that we just went with a completely wacky party where I was a dwarf ranger who is like turning into a druid pretty much at this point, speaking with animals and leaping through the trees like a cat and all that. And then we also have an elf barbarian or whatever it is, a
I have a
warrior.
barbarian who also does air magic.
And is a cannibal.
And is a cannibal.
Yeah, like who repeatedly stabs themselves in the arms or just takes chunks out of their own arms to become more powerful in battles. It makes me wonder, like, it almost seems like an elf ranger would be useless and a dwarf melee would be useless. The way it's working out, it's set up perfectly, but maybe that's just because we've...
I don't know, dwarves are very melee because they can do their petrifying touch, which is a touch range.
Actually, yeah, that is nice.
So-
But when you're a ranger, it means you can use it as an emergency, get the hell away from me thing.
Yeah, but if you're in
just,
combat,
like...
you can use it as emergency, and now I'm going to whack you repeatedly.
Yeah, that's boring though. You gotta like repurpose.
Putting on the overlay, dwarves are boring.
That's huge.
Warriors are boring.
Dwarves can never be boring.
Stuff.
And then you guys, of course, have the chickens, the great chickening and whatnot.
Yep.
I maintain that spell is ridiculously powerful for what it does. Like, you can have it at the start of the game. Oh, yeah, anyone without physical armor, we can turn you into a chicken. For, like, 2 turns, you can't control yourself, you wander around, you're unable to do anything. Yeah, chicken.
I love chicken.
You're just gonna make all your enemies be entirely armor, no health.
Or just, like, you know, make them chicken you first.
Oh, crap.
Oh, crap.
He's only got to fight back, we're doomed.
When
it's
the
great poultry, the poultry war of 2009. Everyone was just churning chickens. It was the last rooster standing.
The last rooster standing, nice.
All shall become chickens.
It's not over until the fat lady crows?
Fat chicken clucks?
Until the last chicken clucks. There we go.
There we go. There.
Oh,
no.
no.
Until the last chicken clucks. Shit.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry.
Side note, now I really, really want like a really grizzled chicken to appear in the campaign. What are you looking at, bud? I've survived many butcherings.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, you have talking cats, so why not talking chickens?
Already half the time when people turn into chickens, they start shouting at Ragnar.
Yeah, Maggie, did you see that in the last episode? I'm not sure if you did.
I did. The last episode, I'm like pretty kind of behind on, so I need to.
So we had a moment where we realized that when all like the undead and the monsters and stuff are making their noises, you know, no one can understand them. As soon as they turn into a chicken, suddenly you get, I want your brains. Because he can understand what animals say and they become a chicken, so they start speaking in chicken. And then Ragnar can understand animals.
I hear them clicking bloody murder.
Everyone else is like, they're just going, back, and someone's, like, Ragnar's hearing, let me devour your flesh. Ah.
And I get to cluck back at them with responses.
Yeah, I love whenever you have like animal talking stuff. It's amazing. So just in general, I think like talk a little bit about how the show has been going in your minds as far as like, I know people always want to know season 2s of things, right? Things like that. I know that we have a weird time, so that has definitely like caused viewership to be a little bit weird for that show. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit about that.
That show was us being like, right, we have so much time before Christmas when people won't be available. We can't really do a proper full launch for a show because it's going to be really tough actually getting people up to that Christmas date. So we're going to put in the small show. Hey, why don't we do something different? Try Divinity Original Sin. When are people available? We use most of the cast we've got around already to speed up time. Like it was mostly we need to somehow fit this in before Christmas, and we don't want to just do only Layla. We kind of want to do the second show partly because that's what you're doing on the Patreon for. Like that's a tier that we're doing the gold for, and also because, well, it's fun. Why wouldn't we? Yeah. And I like the combat system in Divinity Original Sin. It's really kind of cool. I really, really like what they did. They've actually brought an RPG game into the modern era and not had an ancient as UI. Because the one thing I really hate about all the games that they put on like Kickstarter and stuff that are RPGs is just, oh yeah, no, we made this RPG and we're gonna bring it back with Kickstarter. It's like, cool, have you updated anything? Oh, we updated like the graphics and like it's got voice acting now. You done anything with the UI? No, it's still a UI from 25 years ago. We don't use that for a reason, mate. Whereas Divinity Original Sin, they've so much nicer, and I really love the game because of that. And Larry Institute are really nice people, so I love really anytime I can, you know, do anything with their stuff. So yeah, but effectively it was a fit in already this campaign I had that I played like the first hour or two of on a different stream, and I was like, I kind of want to use the rest.
Yeah, it was really good. I really wanted to play through it too, but unfortunately, like weekday times don't really work good for my schedule.
Yeah, like we have to do it at like 4 a.m. our time, unfortunately. It was a bit like...
I don't want to get stuck too much on that, but I think that kind of wraps up that show. We will be talking more about different stats pertaining to like general stuff that we have going on further down. But let's go move on to Layla the Vampire Slayer. First off, special thank you goes out to Jofu for sponsoring episode 13, which was another crazy doozy. I feel like every one of them has been nuts. And
like every episode this month has been wacky one way or another.
Just amazing. And we also want to let you guys know that we are probably going to do a Christmas kind of show, themed show for Layla as well. So stay tuned for that. Although EE did kind of tease that maybe it might be a two-parter.
I don't quite know yet. I've got like a lot of things I'm juggling, and I know that Imogen's now like offered everyone to come over to her parents. So I'll have to see how I can work that family dynamic and what themes work best. Because of how Layla's going at the moment, I'm trying to make sure that they've got episodes where the theme of the episode and the moral of the story and also the direction it will impact the RP will complement the RP. So, you know, everyone was having a tough time at the moment, so I did the Darkest Selves thing so you could look at the negative and positive traits of your characters, etc. For the last episode, even before that, we've had other things, and trying to keep up with the RP is generally my role at the moment. I'm not even really directing the show. I'm just, you know, keeping up with the players because they're doing an amazing job. So it depends what we can do.
Don't sell yourself short, man. You are directing the show. So,
I just kill people. That's all I do.
I don't have much else to say other than
like fireworks happen.
Other than the Layla show has been exceeding our expectations. When we're looking at viewership, it is above and beyond all of the interactions we've had, all of the amazing fan art, I mean, I could just keep going on and on and on. The reviews that we've been getting and on our Facebook and things like that, a lot of them have comments about Layla. We've been having, our Reddit has been crazy with tons of people.
The only 2 4-star reviews we have on Facebook are due to me killing James. So
yeah. And they're only giving us 4 stars because of that. So hopefully they'll up their number and they're just trolling. I don't know. I don't even know if you can like take backsies on your review, but yeah, so it's been pretty amazing. And I think like that pretty much sums up Layla. I think it's just been fantastic for us. And I know people keep asking us about a season 2. It's something we're definitely we're talking about. So just keep with us, keep supporting us, keep the viewership continuing to grow, and that will make it a lot easier of a decision for us.
Yeah, effectively.
And if that's what you want, tell us that's what you want, and it'll make it be more likely that it's the thing you get.
Yeah, effectively,
exactly.
We want to make a show that people watch, and people need to watch it so that we can make a show, and that people only watch it if we make a show that people want us to make. So we just want to make sure that most people are happy as possible. We're doing something that we enjoy. So, you know, if we're enjoying Layla and people like Layla, let us know when it comes to making another season, and we might make a Layla season 2. Just saying. Yeah. It's currently scheduled, by the way, if people are wondering, to end at the end of January. So that will be the last episode of Layla. Give or take if anything crazy happens or if there's some weird scheduling issue, but it should be the end of January that it ends. So bear that in mind.
And in regards to Divinity, because it is a short and you know that it is ending, we will have another show starting in January. We don't want to talk about it yet or tease anything of that sort. So, but that is something that we're already thinking about. January, February. I think we started talking about March too. So it's definitely, we have stuff planned. So don't worry. There's going to be more down the line. I think we've always had the intention of having one show that's going to be our longer lasting show. And then we'll have like short shows that are like 4 to 6 weeks or 4 to 8 weeks.
Speaking of the next show in January to replace the Divinity show, which we haven't really got much details on at the moment because it's still kind of early in the process. I'm really hoping to use the one voice I haven't actually used really much at all on screen, which is, "Yes, I'm sorry, did you say something? I can't hear you. I'm old." I'm just hoping that I can involve that in some way, because it's the only one I really haven't done to death.
Playing an old character is so much fun. I have a D&D character that I play on Mondays, and it's just like the most fun. She's like super religious cleric, and she's a dwarf, and it's the most fun thing I've ever... I don't know, I love playing those characters. But moving on, I think, unless somebody else has something they want to add to Layla.
I think Imogen does.
Okay. Let's talk about the GM one-shot. Bentham, can you talk a little bit about that?
I could talk about that. That happened yesterday, and I was the one GMing it. We were playing Stars Without Number with the Legend tier supporters, and also the mods were able to come along. Powell and Mighty Rick were there, as well as Josh. Josh was there, and Maggie was there. So there were 6 people in total. It was a bit.
I offered, but there were too many people, and I got told
like,
no, and I was very sad because I wanted to play with Maggie.
The number was at 4.
To be honest,
4, and then it was like suddenly 3 more people turned up. Like, we could all do it too, and I'm like, 7 might be a slightly high number.
And, to be honest, I kind of just played No-Lade's character till he arrived, and then I kind of backed off from there.
Yeah, Maggie played the ship basically. Which was
not really.
I streamed on my own channel. We had a lovely time without you.
Maybe next time. Like there might be a sequel. The way it worked out, the story had a nice like direction it could go in from there. So we already started thinking about how a sequel could go. Like after that session ended, it was really cool. I basically did like a space opera style thing.
I'm so gutted that I missed it because I really wanted to find out what Bentham GM was like. People were telling me that you were really cunning and devious.
I did play everyone like a damn fiddle. I will admit. I tricked them all, and
I'm so proud.
At the end.
Actually, one of the comments during the show, or during the campaign was, "You've learned from E, haven't you?" So it's pretty great.
You have done well, my young apprentice.
No, it was really fun.
Perfect. Clip it. I stayed quiet so we can clip that and post it on like the Twitter or something.
That is evil EE there. That's the gift you need to make.
Yep.
I need that, and I need Josh's dance from earlier today. He was just like, when he got all that money, he was just freaking out.
Oh yeah, I think that was our most clipped thing today, FYI.
Okay, awesome.
The problem is that the gets in the way of me actually having the hood down properly because it's so wide.
Yeah.
Yes, my apprentice.
Lightning.
That's the thing, and then today in the Layla chat, I was talking about how the perfect way to tear at someone's heart and that sort of thing.
Oh no! All right, moving on.
You have to go under the ribcage because that way it gets in the way. The quickest way to a man's heart is through his stomach, because it's actually entirely true.
Our next one shot, we're gonna have to figure out who's GMing that and when that's gonna go on. But we are usually pretty good about telling people in advance. We told people so much in advance last time that some people showed up way earlier. Me. Because I thought it started at 9 a.m. Because originally when we first
I was wondering why you were all there so early.
Because it was before the time change.
Yeah, it was time zones. Like when we worked out the timings and the different time zones, it was still in the middle of the clocks changing, and we didn't notice. And then
clocks.
Yeah.
Maggie woke up early.
Damn clocks!
Like, you've got another hour. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, man, maybe I go to sleep. But then I ended up having to look at No-Lade's character and kind of seeing what was on it. But yeah, so we'll have another one shot coming up every month. We're going to be doing these for our legendary tier, so we'll keep doing those, and we'll keep letting you guys know what's up and how those are going. And
this next month, it looks like we're going to have 4 people in it potentially.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They've been going so well that now 4 of you want to join. We do have to max it at 6 just because DMing for more than 6 people. I mean, if 6 people is the base plus our mods plus whoever else wants to join, that gets to be a lot of people.
Yeah. Effectively, we do just throw the mods in to just, give them something and to round out the numbers, etc. So the core experience is the Patreon people who make this possible. And if we do get a lot of demand, we might consider somehow increase the number, possibly in future, like if we get demand. But for now, it's limited to 6. Yeah, I mean, if the demand got so much, maybe we would have to split it up into 2 campaigns or something like that per month or something. But that'd be just insane. I don't know. That's a lot. Speaking of campaigns, as you know, Divinity is going to be a bit shorter of a show, series, but we still want to give you guys a second show during the Christmas season
We are going to be taking a little bit of a break during Christmas as well. But during that break, we are going to be playing some podcasts of Layla during the normal Layla time, as well on both of those days. So that would be, we got to look at the month again.
And it's the 24th and the 31st. So there'll be a nice Christmas Eve episode.
Yeah.
Anyone who's wondering about our actual schedule, if you go onto Twitch and you look on our page and you scroll down just below the player, you will find a very handy how long till the next stream and also click for schedule button, which you can find next to our normal little info boxes. That is the most useful Twitch extension. They made this massive Twitch extension API, and there's about 3 good ones, and that's one of them.
Yeah, and this was one that I sent over to EE a while ago. I was like, we need to get this set up. It's so good. So he got it set up, and it looks awesome.
You can currently see every single episode we have till the end of this year. Every episode is scheduled there.
And we'll be adding more as we lock in. We just want to make sure that we have stuff locked in before we put it on there. But we kind of pretty much have our Christmas special locked in. We're not going to share too many details about it yet, as we want it to be a little bit of a surprise. But that will be taking place on the 16th, I think we agreed. Yes, the 16th at the normal Layla time. So 10 a.m. PST, 6 p.m. GMT.
So that's the Saturday before our last Layla, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the Saturday the 16th. I've got to remember not to stream that day. Also, I'll be playing in it. I won't be GMing it. I'm not going to say like anything more than that. I'm just like, I'm going to be playing.
No teasers. It's going to be a lot of fun. It will be a different type of thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming forward in the future. But we just wanted to give you guys an update that we do have another secondary show planned for you that week, even though there won't be a Divinity. And then I think we can move on to the Patreon. So we have a lot of things going on the Patreon. Like we always tell you guys, the 15th of every month is when we kind of do our cutoff date for stuff. So like that's when we know that all the final transactions have gone through, so that we know that we've met goals. This month has been insane. First of all, I want to mention that we have hit our top patrons that we've ever had in the existence of the Roll4It patron. I think our max before was 502 in June, and we are now at 532 patrons. Pending transactions, but that's where we're at, which is pretty cool. Yeah. We've reached an insane amount of goals at this point. We've reached our poster goal, which we are going to be giving you guys your digital poster on December 1st. We'll be making a post about that. We are also going to be giving you guys a special gift. And on December 1st, we're also going to be requesting your guys' address. If you don't give us your address, we won't be able to give you that special gift. So if you want it, please click the form, fill out the details, give us your address so we can ship them to you.
It's just a little something to say thank you for all supporting the show this year, etc. Obviously, any addresses sent to us will probably just get destroyed immediately after they're used, etc. So don't worry about that. But yeah, if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. We still thank you for supporting the show. But if you want to, we'll send out a little thing and you can just give us out your address, and then we'll be good to just send out a little thank you.
Yeah, we just want to send you a little thank you. And then the next thing is our shirt design goal has been reached. So we are actually going to be changing this and making it a full merch store. That's something that we've all wanted to do. It's going to take us a little bit more time, as we've told you guys in the past. The plan is that this month we're going to be posting a kind of like, give us all your ideas. That'll probably go out this week sometime too. I don't know what day, maybe Saturday, the 2nd.
Possibly.
So I think we're going to be making a post about that, and asking your guys' opinions on what you guys would want. Then we'll take those opinions. We're going to figure out how much those things are going to cost, and then we'll kind of like what we did for the patron new tiers, where we asked you guys what you wanted, then we put into a thing and we're like, here's how much it's going to cost, and then you guys give us your feedback. You're like, I don't want to pay that much. So then we have to kind of go back and be like, all right, well, these are the things people really want based on like their income and stuff like that. So we will work on that, and we'll be starting that first phase. So the first phase will be getting your guys' feedback for this month. Next month, we'll be taking all that feedback, putting it into our system, figuring out how much those things are going to cost us, and then giving you guys those details. And then from there, I think we'll be able to start next year with a merch store. And we really want to launch it strong, and we want to launch it primo instead of kind of rushing things and making it kind of just like, here's a shirt with the Roll4 logo on it. He's been very pertinent about that. He's like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to just launch a crappy store of like one thing of our logo. It's like, yeah, our logo is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I want to have like some decent stuff in there before we start. Bear in mind, by the way, that everyone, when we're talking about, you know, like what do people want? These will be the rough costs. When people give us feedback, remember those will be without VAT because VAT will vary depending on where you are. Like obviously, you know, VAT is going to be your country VAT. Some countries have to display VAT before and after and all that jazz, and also shipping. And I know that shipping is going to be really annoying, unlike the shipping in the show, which is always amazing, because unfortunately we're going to have to make them in one country, and then we're going to have to ship them to other countries. And you know, I'm talking about you mainly here, Australia, but mostly other places too, but mainly Australia. Sorry, you just happened to be on the wrong side of the world.
What? Come on. Don't say sorry and then offend.
Most of our bleeding cast are over in the UK, and we're probably not going to be doing it in the UK because most of our audience technically is American, because just a large amount of English speakers. So
we also suffer a bit as well.
Yeah. Technically, our demographic for Patreon especially is US, then UK, then Germany. So, which we'll be getting into a little bit.
Yeah. So
further. Actually, I don't know if it's our Patreon. That's our YouTube and Twitch.
I think it's still US is far and away. So
yeah.
It generally is.
They'll probably end up being shipped from the US, which means that there will be shipping costs to anywhere that's not, you know, the continental US. So
I am reaching out to another seller, so possibly we're gonna try to see if we can find a place that does UK and US stuff. But right now, the main one that we've been discussing and talking with is primarily a US seller. So, but they do the cool stuff that we wanted, like the cool, weird, like bunny slippers and like all that kind of strange stuff that's not just shirts, which is something that we had discussed. Is we really want to make unique stuff that's like, when we put it out there,
I really want a shirt that says "Take it off now."
Has to be a jersey. Has to be a rugby jersey with that.
Take it off.
Oh, that'd be so good. We were talking that we all needed jerseys when we go to Nando's.
Maybe like a dotted line on it for like the easiest way to cut it to take it off. Cut here.
Oh, you know those button pants and those button shirts? They have like buttons.
Stripper shirts.
Instead of, they're like they're like sweatshirts and sweatpants, but they have buttons instead, so you can just pull them. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it could be like that. Why would you know that? Okay, I don't know. Anyways, moving on.
Actually, no, strippers use Velcro for their rip-off pants. Okay.
Merch stuff is on the way. It is something we're discussing, and we're going to be making a first post for you guys this coming month. Next up is that we are almost reaching our $4,500 goal. It's just, you guys are never ending. We're just like, it's going. I know people are like, oh, well, we want to see you guys do the IRL episode. I'm like, that's still like a whiles away. They're like, not for long. I'm like, oh no, what are you guys planning and plotting? But yeah, so our next goal, we're really close to reaching. I've already talked to 2 animators. I just talked to a backup one yesterday just in case the other one isn't available, but I did re-message him to be like, hey, are you still cool? It's going to happen a lot sooner than we expected, because I don't think when I was looking at is attrition the right word that I'm thinking of?
Growth?
Yeah. Our
attrition
growth
is going down.
Going down, okay. Our growth I didn't think like it was going to be that soon, so.
Yep, it's been accelerating, which is insane. This month in particular has been crazy for growth, so like I was like, oh, we'll probably get to the animation goal in what, like March or something.
Yeah, I think that was what
maybe not. Could be January.
Yeah, I think we've made an executive decision, and apparently growth is better after I kill off beloved characters. So every month and a half, I have a new personal goal. I have to kill off one of your most loved characters. Unless our growth is over 50%. You know, we're just saying, if you don't grow the Patreon, someone will die.
What the heck?
He will kill again.
He's a murderer. He's on a spree. Well, that's no.
Yes, I will kill again.
You're going to turn from Emperor into Ferengi there.
Yeah, that wasn't Emperor, was it? That was Ferengi.
I will give you 10 bars of platinum.
I can't wait for the animations shows though. Those are gonna be great. Basically, we're just gonna pick like a 1-minute clip of one of the shows.
Like I can understand like art being done because that's close to fan art, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, but animation that's just if I see that is going to just blow my. I'm gonna break. Like
it's gonna be
cope,
awesome.
I can cope about with
I'm gonna
fan
cry.
art. But animation is just gonna be weird. I'm gonna be like, what? How is this? Especially as a GM for a scene, I'll be like, this is a scene I helped devise. How is this now? It's taken from my brain and it is now a.
Although it probably is not going to be like the realistic
response. He'll
just it'll be more cartoony. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's going to be pretty amazing. So thank you guys so much. If we hit that goal, it is something that we're already like thinking about. Just so you guys know, we're thinking in advance and getting prepped for that stuff. So if it happens, I think we're just going to all be like, what? Merry Christmas. The next thing is, and I know Bentham, you had put this up for last month, but do you want to talk a little bit about the NPC stuff?
Yep, so later on in December, probably December 8th is the current plan. We'll be putting out the NPC post for the heroes for December. So the way it's going to work is that we'll have a new list every month, and then what we'll do is we'll add the names from that to the list so that we have like all previous names we haven't used yet, as well as all the new names. So the plan is that every name will ultimately be used, even if initially there isn't something that fits. Because we had the issue of like, I didn't properly explain it, and so some people put in like Shadowrunner names, so that didn't really fit what we were doing. So now you have a bit more freedom to like pick a sort of name you like, and then if it doesn't fit a system we're doing right now, maybe we can use it later or something.
Yeah, so all the names from...
you make it fit the systems we're using right now. So the names of random like British school kids in 1997 is perfect for us right now.
Yes.
Because we do go through a lot of random British school kids in 1997 for some reason.
Yeah, well, especially now that we're going to have them dying so often to keep the numbers up.
Oh god, no, stop it.
The cuter and more passive and lovely sounding the name, the better, because that really tugs at the heartstrings.
Oh my goodness. Stop it. Look at his evil look. But yeah, so we'll keep adding those to the list. Every GM that we have will have access to that list so they can pull names. I think some people have a lot of hard time coming up with names. He's creeping me out. So thank you guys for the awesome names, and thank you for your contribution. You guys have been amazing, and we love the fact that we get to find a way to immortalize you and put you in game to some extent. No, you might die.
He keeps doing it.
I know. Let's move on to the stats, and then we'll wrap things up here. So Twitch in general, I think, has been really good for us. We have gone up in peak views, gone up in average views. Following's insane. So thank you guys so much for continuing that. Views have been roughly the same as last month, so around that 12K mark. So it's been pretty great for us. Subs have been off the hook. We've gotten 3 new emotes. Well, we've kind of had to move emotes around. We got one. Yeah,
we juggled some emotes here and there, and yeah.
Yeah, because we got the hearsay.
We're running out of the number that he commissioned made.
We have one more we got commissioned made, and it's my least favorite.
Okay.
And
so we need to make more.
We need a spoon.
And when he commissioned them,
we need a shipping one.
That we wouldn't go any further than that list. So it's
we planned the future, and we got like an extra 5 that we didn't need or something, and now we've gone almost through them all.
Well, we've got so many good emote ideas now from this episode events.
Well, thank you guys so much. We need to. I think the plan is to commission more, right? Like you're gonna request some more.
Probably pretty soon.
Well, we can't.
Yeah.
We can't leave those slots unfilled. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, I think we need to do that ASAP. So that's
left unfilled.
Add that to your list of to-do things if it's not already. I think it might already be on the list.
Might already be on the list.
If it's not, check. So that's one of the things. We are getting close to where we need to be for our next one. I think we have 40 something more points or something like that.
48 more sub points, I want to say.
Yeah, 48 more sub points that we have to reach before we get to next tier, which is crazy. So thank you guys so much. Like we said before, our demographic has pretty much stayed the same. We're US, UK, Germany are our top demographic list. People were asking about that, and that's for both YouTube and Twitch. And moving on over to the YouTube channel, who wants to handle that one? Want to take it? Somebody?
So we've got a YouTube channel. We're doing pretty well. Do you want to do any particular point to talk about, or we're talking about the subs? We've gained 272 subs. Got over 7,000 total subs, which is pretty nice. Our most viewed video, in terms of actual number of views, was the first episode of Death in the Family, of Paws and Plagues, Divinity Original Sin 2 GM mode RPG, which got over 6,000 views. That said, actually by watch time, it was episode 12, Back to the Vampire Slayer, the one we hyped with the battle with Pennymoo. That's been pretty successful in terms of watch time.
I feel like it wasn't the Pennymoo battle that got all
I think it was James.
Watch
James.
minutes though, really. Yeah.
Oh, it's been
People
so
watching
good.
that over and over.
It was so insane because it was like the James situation and then all of our reactions. And like my character's reaction wasn't even to that. My character's reaction was to other stuff. It was just like we started with a crazy fight and drama already, and then it just got it just escalated.
My experience with
Rob
your
almost died.
I know we're going slightly tangential here, but my experience with the
Yeah.
RPG group for Layla the Vampire Slayer is that it never rains. It pours, at which point someone overturns half of the Red Sea on your head, and also submerges you in an aquarium. Because nothing ever goes wrong once. When something goes wrong, 3 other things will go wrong at the same time. For instance, oh, we need to do something. Cool, this is going to be a laid back episode. We get lost in a book. Or, oh, our friend got shot. Oh, by the way, you're now super demon form. You're now almost dead, and you're now evil magic form. Like, there's just... It's my experience with your group is that anytime one thing happens, like a billion things happen.
You with the spoilers.
Hey, you started the spoilers of James earlier. I'm just like, at this stage, I'm like, cool, these people must know stuff.
I said the thing that happened with him. I didn't
No,
say what.
earlier you said about James.
Oh, okay, maybe, yeah.
Do you want us to
I don't remember
talk
if I
about
said
spoilers in this show? Because this show is available to only higher tier supporters. So maybe you're higher enough tier that you have seen everything? I don't know. We're definitely interested on
Yeah,
feedback.
do
on
let
this.
us know in the comments. That is, like we said in the other one, we were like, hey, give us your feedback. Everyone seemed like they were like, we like the link. We like when you guys talk as much as you can. We like the
Phrasing.
stats. So we're just keeping with what we did last time because you guys didn't have any feedback regarding any issues with it. But if you don't want us to talk any spoilers whatsoever, we can avoid that. That's easy.
No, it's
But
not
yeah,
easy, but we do it. Yeah.
our YouTube channel has been doing all right. I think in general.
Yeah. US, UK, Germany, as you said.
Yeah.
Pretty good. We've got a little nice community over there. It's pretty small compared to our Twitch, which of course is the main community. And of course, you know, most of the talking does go on the Discord. But it's pretty nice, and it's also a pretty good VOD service. Effectively, right now, I know a lot of people are used to YouTubers who stream occasionally. We're a streaming lot who have a VOD archive, which just happens to be on YouTube. So that's pretty much how we deal with it. It's really nice to see people getting the community that way, and it's a good way to catch up. And of course, the VODs are a bit more reliable than Twitch. But yeah, it's a pretty good place to hand over to social, Twitter.
Yeah, and I think in general, I think our expectation is that we hope that the YouTube channel will grow more. We just need to figure out what ways to like make that happen. I know that I've been talking to our mod crew who helps us upload them and stuff like that. So I think we might mess with the SEO a little bit more and try to like hit some of that. But
I mean,
in general, yeah.
from my personal experience, SEO doesn't really mean much on YouTube right now, because YouTube's just like, hey, you know, you make these great videos, let's not deliver them to anyone. It would be great.
Stop it. You're gonna get us banned from it just from this video. Yeah, so YouTube is definitely something we're still struggling with. We're just trying to figure out what we can do. The worst part is Twitch is even worse with YouTube video or with the archived videos.
Oh yeah,
so it's
no
like,
one sees them.
it's
You
kind
have
of
to
like
go looking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little harder. So we're not really sure. Obviously, we pushed everything to YouTube, and that's our goal, is to kind of push people to that side of things in order to make a little bit more consistent money.
And
to
also
help.
consistently actually provide a decent quality VOD, whereas Twitch ones can be a little bit flummoxy sometimes in my experience.
It's true. It freezes, and then you can't
Yeah.
exactly find your spot sometimes. It like I don't know. It's wonky. Their video player is wonky.
Twitch
But
has added a video player that doesn't work consistently. YouTube have a video player that works about as much as it did 10 years ago, but still works. So, you know, that's that, I guess.
The video part of YouTube works.
Yes. The delivery and the rest of it, no, not a chance.
Yeah,
anyway.
Things that we're working on. So, you know, any help that you guys can do by sharing those videos and things like that helps support us a ton. We definitely try our best to post all those things to all of our social channels. So if you guys can retweet those things, it's super duper appreciated. And moving on from there, I think that's a great segue into our social, which is, you know, Twitter and Facebook are our primary social locations that we are at. And I'm sure most of you guys know this, but we just kind of want to give you guys an update on like where we're going and how our growth is. With Twitter specifically, we actually were really down a little bit last month, but we did have an increase in followers. This time around, we actually have an increase in everything. Our impressions, our followers, our mentions, our profile visits are insane. Like, I think we had like 1K last month and now it's at 4K. So it's pretty insane. And so we've just been doing a really great job. And I think something that we had discussed was making sure that we're tweeting more and we're retweeting stuff and we're being really active. And we have been. If we look at our posts, we've actually had more posts than we did in the previous months. So I think that's really good.
I would like to just slightly derail you here.
Yeah.
Is that there was an amazing Roll4It post, which you didn't actually retweet.
He's talking about his tweet.
I'm just gonna read it out. I don't know what voice I should do. I can't do it in this voice. I'm gonna
American
called
voice?
to say that I was. I'm not doing the American voice. It's just a little bit too close to home. Roll4It called to say that I was probably going to be named GM Games Master of the Year, like last year, but I'd have to agree to a interview and a one-shot session. I said probably is no good and took a pass. Thanks anyway. Sad. And they didn't. Roll4It didn't retweet it, so frankly.
I debated retweeting it. I think this was when I was debating it because of political things. So I don't know.
It's Roll4It stuff, but it's also political stuff. So
yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know. So I just didn't, but I thought I did. I don't know. I don't know what to do. He's putting me in a weird position. But
that's not Imogen's job.
Oh, God. That's on Layla. That's not me specifically. Speaking of tweets, we do want to give kind of shout outs to some people too. Our top mention was actually from Well Dipper, who created some amazing fan art of Layla and Imogen. But this is the specific post that got the top mention. But yes, they have been amazing and making amazing art for us. So thank you so much, Well Dipper. Send love to Well Dipper as much as you possibly can. And they're fast. Their post was of the one where Imogen's holding a book and she's reading. And Layla's like sleeping in her lap, which I thought was really cute.
Oh, yeah. Let's just check on that. That currently has 66 likes, 8 retweets, and 4 replies.
Yeah, it's that's our top mention. And then when we move on to our top tweet from the actual channel, that was actually our Roll4It announcement for Death in the Family. So we're not very surprised in that front. Same thing where we're not surprised that the top video viewed on our YouTube channel for that month was the first episode.
Surprise. People like new things. Who could have guessed?
First episodes always do really well. That's something that we know for sure.
The surprising part was that in episode 12 got a most view time.
Yeah, that's the thing of like currently with the Layla episodes, like half the time an episode will have more views than the previous one on Twitch because nothing makes sense anymore.
Layla doesn't make any sense. Like we talked about it, before when we were talking about our shows, but Layla has been exceeding our expectations on all fronts. Just amazing growth on that channel or on that show. And obviously that means that we want to do our best to make sure it's a great experience for you guys. So we hope that you continue to enjoy it and love the characters that EE kills.
You have to love them first. That's the precondition. If you don't love anybody, then I won't kill them. So you've got a choice. You can either love and lose or never love at all. Oh,
I feel like you want to love. You want to at least, right? So that's our Twitter. Twitter's been doing pretty well lately. So thank you guys to everyone who has been supporting us there. Facebook's been a new adventure for us. As we've said before, we kind of started that with our revamp of Patreon and Roll4It as a whole. And with Facebook, we've actually been doing pretty well. We're at 307 likes, which is an increase from our last time. We don't do a ton of stuff over there other than we post everything that we post to Twitter over there as well. So if you prefer Facebook, that is a platform that we have over there. Or if you want to help just be a cheerleader for us, that's a great way to share. And then we also have our reviews on Facebook, and we have 48 of those, which is pretty amazing. That's a pretty good job of getting a lot of reviews. Although we have 2 4-star reviews now, which ruined our 5-star beautiful review marks. And we can credit that to E. But they were both like lovely posts. They were like really witty and funny, but then they're just like, fuck you, E. So it seems like
a message of viewers right now.
Yeah. Aww.
But sometimes followed in brackets by love you really.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, they were all really funny, and a lot of people there were some really, really witty ones. One of the things that I want to do is put together a trailer for Roll4It. I kind of want us to have like more shows so that I can have more stuff to pull from.
If you want us to have more shows, support us enough on Patreon, and there is a third.
I mean, that could happen at any
They're
time.
already here. These
Support
are the
us more on Patreon, and we might get a third show.
Jump up to deity tier.
I'll be honest, I'm actually really, really worried about the third show tier, because at that point I'd be like, that's so much admin! What do we do?
Yeah, I feel like we might have to pull another person on board if we get to that point. Yeah, it's odd now that we like looking back now. I don't know how you were doing stuff before, but the 3 of us doing all of this stuff has been pretty insane. Like our Sundays are pretty much after the Sunday show. We are like adminning until I don't know what
like,
it's a.m. for you guys.
It's 3 a.m. right now.
And
yeah,
that's
it's 3 a.m. for
not
them.
actually when we finish normally. No, it's about 3:30 would be our average end, I think.
Yeah, and it's like 7 p.m. for me, which is averagely, I think it's been like 10 p.m. or 8 p.m. I don't know. It's always super late. So, but yeah, so I think that kind of wraps it up for social, wraps it up for all of the things. We've had an amazing month. It has been even more amazing than our previous month. I mean, I don't have any words. I feel like.
I mean, it makes me feel better when we pull ridiculously long shifts as admin to know that people are enjoying it so much. Because apparently, even though we only have 2 4-hour shows a week, apparently there's admin that goes into that. I mean, who would have thunk it, right? You thought they just make themselves, people just playing video games. I could do that.
I think it would be different if we didn't have like reward tiers. I think that's because we're being really self-conscious about like, oh, we have to make sure that there's something that goes out for everybody, and
But if we didn't have the reward tiers on the Patreon, then we wouldn't be able to have the shows.
Exactly. So it's like this flux that you're in, like of, well, I guess you have to do work to get work, right? So,
Hi, people at a reward tier. We're talking about reward tiers and how reward tiers influence. I think this is a bit meta, this discussion.
Yeah, this is pretty meta.
The whole point of this is to be meta, so
that's true.
I think that's
We hope that it gives you guys insight into how much work goes into it, how much we care about the shows, and just the Roll4It brand as a whole. And I think something that we're thinking about in the future too is like when we add a new show, that it fits our brand and that you guys enjoy it. And I think that the one thing that we probably have to work on, in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys want to add something to it, is finding good times for our secondary show. We've had a rough time finding like a time slot that's really good. So I think that has been the most troublesome thing, but I think that we can get that.
People have these things called day jobs. I mean, I don't know about you at home, but they're actually really a pain.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. You gotta, it's set times, every week. Terrible.
And, you can't do anything else when you're meant to be doing them?
Apparently means you can, afford stuff, though. That's cool.
What's that
There are other people, though, that it has been a troublesome thing, is working around other people's Twitch schedules, other people's YouTube schedules, other people's work schedules. So I think once we solidify that with each of our casts, it will be a little bit smoother. I think our Sunday cast is pretty solid, and we're pretty good on that front.
Which I think that's actually a pretty good point. Massive shout out to Blue Jay for the fact that she gets up at 8 a.m. to do the Divinity show, which she doesn't have to do because she doesn't actually have to be awake in the morning that early at all. Like, Lauren has to go to work eventually that day, which is why it's somewhat early, because we have to go, we finished in time for her to go to work. But like, Blue doesn't actually need to be up, so she just gets up. She wanders into the corners like, I just need coffee, in a more alluring feminine voice than. But that's my equivalent. I need coffee. She just wanders into the corners like, I need coffee. It's 8 a.m. and we're all like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, Blue Jay's amazing. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying having her on the show, because she's definitely a pretty awesome person. And I think that she's like the type of person who's just like, all right, let's do this. And she has that mentality of, she loves it. So I hope that it seems like the people are liking her, having her around. So, and I think we're thinking about how to bring back some of the old cast members from other stuff to new shows too. So I think that's probably our hardest part, is because we're like, oh, we really love this cast, but we love these people, and it's like, oh, where do we but this person can't work with that person's time. So it's like this struggle of finding the right times for our secondary.
I'm pretty sure anyone who's ever tried to schedule a session of D&D knows it well. I mean, I'm pretty sure I tweeted a meme about this the other day.
You did. What's funny is I gave that specific tweet. I gave that tweet to Delric because of Lost Initiative.
I was thinking of Lost Initiative when I tweeted it. It's the bit from Lord of the Rings where they're doing the Council of Elrond. So those of you who don't know, and it has organizing an RPG session at the top, and then it's got Gandalf going, "Okay, great, we play on the 5th," and then Aragorn goes, "You have my sword," and then Legolas goes, "You have my bow," and then Gimli goes, "The 5th is great for me, actually." And you start all over. You go, okay, how about the 6th? And there'll be that one person who can't do it. And eventually you'll find out that I'm free in 2019.
Fortunately, we've been a little better off. But I think even on that front, that's a good point, is there's been some people who we haven't had on the shows who we've wanted to, but they couldn't make it due to scheduling issues. So maybe we'll see some new faces. I think that has always been our goal, is to try to bring new faces in if we can. And then obviously kind of rotating the main people that we really have found good meshes with, as far as different types of characters and roles, depending on the show. So it's all going to be dependent on the game and the show that we're trying to build.
The general idea seems to be the longer shows, like, Layla, etc., will probably stick around with the same cast for a while, because we've got a good cast dynamic, and over time,
unless somebody dies,
better. Yeah. Whereas the shorter shows, etc., will try and ramp people around, get new people, get new systems. The idea being we can try and experiment more, so we can experience a lot more stuff and people.
And then I don't know what we're gonna do at the 3rd show. We're gonna have to start thinking about that after we hit the animation tier.
Step 1, panic.
I'm already panicking. I'm already there. I'm just doing it internally right now.
But that was something that we were like, oh man, we're gonna have to start talking about.
They role play the other shows role playing their role play. So they, like, someone plays Maggie, someone plays E, someone plays Bentham, and you have to do all the stuff in your life to be able to get to the show, and then you have to role play yourself doing the show and going through the.
I think EE needs sleep. He's on a sugar high.
I may have had a lot of sugar. He's coming down.
He drank. He got a sundae and a shake. And I'm like, aren't those like the same thing? They're like in the... He's like, no, one's a shake and one's a sundae. I was like, but it's in like a cup, it was in like you could drink it. I don't know. Yeah, that's so much sugar. I don't know how you're drinking. And it's like sleepy time. I don't know.
Not sleepy time anymore.
We're losing him.
Oh boy!
We're gonna wrap up before it's too late.
No boy!
All right.
It's sleepy time!
All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for our monthly newsletter for November 2017. We hope that you enjoyed the month, and that you are excited for the future, just as excited as we are. And may the dice roll ever in your favor from the Roll4It team, from our houses to yours.
Wait,
Bye.
before we go, you've just made me
no.
realize. I did
What?
say there's only one accent I haven't actually really done much, and it was the old person voice. I could actually do a character who goes, "Oh boy, we can go on an adventure."
No, please,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Please no.
No.
Is that
Oh my
Dex's
God, no.
more annoying cousin?
Dex, yeah. Funnily enough, no points in Dex. Completely a con build. Oh boy,
Oh god.
we're going on an adventure.
No.
Look,
At least
I
they're
got
not
a bag
Russian.
of holding. Okay, goodbye.
End it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh boy, goodbye, everybody. So that's all invalid now.
Yeah, everything that we just told you guys about for this past hour, whatever that was, just forget it.
Some of it's still right. The non-Patreon stuff is okay.
Yeah, so anything that didn't involve stats about Patreon or goals or where we were thinking we might end up is because a lot can happen in the few days before the end of the month, and apparently in the hour
A
or
lot
two
can happen
after
in-
we
yeah.
finish recording.
It's 5 a.m. right now.
Yeah, so we just got a deity. So welcome to our Lord and, I don't know,
Savior.
Savior.
Savior Cloud for upping to deity. Thank you so much. We already recorded our special thank you video. Once that transaction goes through, he'll receive that. And if the transactions all go through and everything goes as
Just
planned
And-
from
and
looking
on
at
top
it,
of
we're
that-
gonna be above
because
our
also,
animation goal.
like a crap ton of people also up to hero
Yeah.
tier.
We suddenly have a lot more people watching this video than we did before.
Yeah, hi. What the?
Hi, thank you.
We hope you
Just-
enjoy it.
You do
Yep.
realize you've made our job like 10 times more complicated as we suddenly have to roll out like 5 tiers at once.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's
Animations
fine.
now.
Everything's fine. Burning.
Hey,
And
at
we
least
definitely have to sort
we're-
out merch right now.
we were ahead of things. We were thinking about stuff. Now we're thinking about our third show. So that's something
Please
that's
stop. We're not
on
ready.
our mind.
We're thinking about our third show. We're gonna have to start doing something to do with animation. We're rolling out our third poster. We're also gonna set up a merch shop. Like, we've got 4 things now. These were meant to be one every few months.
So bear with us. Please bear with us. But we will do our best to get things rolling as quickly as possible for you all. Thank you.
Can I just these were like, we expected these to be one every 3 or so months, right? Maybe a bit more, maybe 4 months, but we're gonna say 3 for the purpose of this calculation. And that means we'd have to think about one every 3 months. You'd have a time to lead in, you'd time to think, time to implementation, time to roll out. We're now thinking about 4 right now in 1 month today. Normally one every 3 months, so that's 3 times as fast, then 4. So that's 12. We're thinking about 12 times the amount of stuff right now than we thought we would have to. Which is just...
It's okay. We'll just make lists and we'll get through them. It'll be fine.
This
Everything's
is why
gonna
we
be
have
fine.
Maggie around, because she's just like, when shit hits the fan, she's just like, we'll make a list. It's great.
We'll get through it. It's gonna be okay.
So thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the somewhat invalid newsletter.
Yeah, it's mostly valid. The only thing that's not is the Patreon statistics, and because we are currently, please don't.
Yeah, what
it's
are we at
probably-
now?
by the time
Don't
you
say
guys
a
get this,
statistic, they'll break it.
It will be wrong. It will be wrong.
you will be wrong, but right now we're at 4,789, so it's pretty crazy. Thank you guys so much. Like we already said before, we're already looking into the animation stuff, so at least we're semi ahead on that front. But in regards,
We were at just over 3,000 at the start of the month.
yeah.
I need to kill more characters.
No, stop it.
It pays.
Right, we're getting out of this before EE tries to threaten more people.
It pays. I'll kill you all. I'll kill you, and I'll kill you,
No.
and I'll kill you.